What the fuck is going on, people? I'm your host of Armbar Audio, Tim Farley. Next to me is my trusted companion.
John Kearns, what's up, bud? But we're not alone.
No, today we have our best friend in the whole wide world. He comes from Dallas, Texas. He is the one, the only Siddharth, the NerdyMark.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's right, Tim. I think you need to lay off the ecstasy. But hey, everybody, hope y'all are doing well. Hi. Let's just dive right in. And I think I'm catching a cold, so if I sound a little stuffy, that's why. But
why you have to bring down the stream with your cold talk?
Cold talk.
What?
Shit, nothing.
All right.
Yeah, today we are reviewing last night's WWE Worlds Collide NXT versus NXT UK event. We're also giving predictions for tonight's Royal Rumble event. Let's get right on into Worlds Collide.
Let's get it on.
Now, Sid, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, what's that?
Did you watch the pre-show match?
I did.
Okay, why don't you talk about it?
All right, fine.
Because I did not. I only caught the end. I thought it was a good way for the heel to win. And I also heard that it was Mia Yim's best showing since she got to NXT, but I don't know much about the match.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I think you're right. That was probably Mia Yim's best match so far in NXT. She did well in Mae Young Classic, but she didn't really do anything to completely impress me. But this one really showed that she had a lot more potential than she was letting on. But just a few points, just a couple of points that I caught. Mia did start off with a drop kick and a cannonball immediately to Kaylee Ray. Then a good head scissors takedown by Mia Yim. Kind of a sucker for those, I guess. But then Kaylee does get the advantage. I forget how. I didn't write it down. But Ray then finally did miss with a senton, allowing Yim to hit a tornado DDT later on in the match. Then Kaylee Ray finally does hit her senton on the outside. Mia Yim back in the ring converts a gory bomb into a code blue. By the way, gory bomb is one of my favorite moves. Then Mia Yim hit a Canadian destroyer, which was freaking awesome. But it looked like Mia Yim got the advantage, but finally Ray did use the support of the ropes and grabbed her jeans and rolled her up and won the match. And it was after a sequence of roll-ups. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good way to get the people started, kind of wet everyone's palates, so to speak. It was good. And like you said, Tim, what probably Mia's best showing up to date.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful analysis and.
Thank you.
Whatnot.
I wrote notes. So I wrote notes on all the matches. So if you miss something, I can just pick it up and just talk about it when I talk about the match.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
The first match of the night was Ilya Dragunov, the unstoppable Russian, against Finn Balor. This match was really hard hitting and had great counters. John, what did you think about this match?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was one of the matches I was looking forward to most on the night. And as far as I'm concerned, it was definitely Ilya's best showing so far.
Mm.
And I've quickly become a fan of Dragunov. And I've said it before, this heel run for Finn Balor is what he's needed the whole time he's been there.
Yeah, there was a couple of standout spots to me where Ilya did his pose where he has his fist back in his hand and like an archer. And what's his name? Finn Balor went to do the the guns, and Ilya slapped him in the face. Another spot I really liked was Finn Balor was on the outside, and Ilya went for a tiger feint kick, missed, went to do a suicide dive, but stopped himself because he realized Finn was moving out of the way. And then he went to the outside, kicked Finn in the face and hit a dive from the first rope, which was interesting because usually people just dive off the apron.
Yeah.
But he just like put his feet on the first rope and held onto the top rope and then jumped off. There was a lot of action. Sid, what did you think, or what are some spots that you liked?
I liked some of them were really good. Like one of them was, Balor did try to get the 1916 early on Dragunov, but Dragunov countered that into like a suplex, which I thought was awesome. I like that Balor was wearing like that armband that he hasn't worn in a while. Looked like the ones that he used to wear in New Japan and even in his NXT days. And even his early days on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I mean that was pretty cool. Just looking through my notes here, seeing what else I can talk about. There was a really good sequence between the two. I forget like exactly what happened, but Balor then tried to go for a Pele kick, which Dragunov again converted into another suplex.
He tried to. It all ended. It all ended with Finn dropping an elbow into his chest.
Oh, that's right. And then and Dragunov hit a huge coast to coast missile drop kick onto Balor, and he was starting to bleed.
He broke his nose, man.
Yeah, I think that he broke his nose. I think that a certain best in the world should take notes. That's the thing. But yeah, that was cool, and then the finish was good because Dragunov tried to go for another top rope move. Balor got the knees up, blocked it, hit the shotgun drop kick, coup de grace, 1916, and won the match. This was a good match. I think this was like the sleeper hit of the night for me.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed. Ilya Dragunov has a bright future.
Yes, he does. I honestly do want to see him and Walter for the UK title.
I think he will be the one to dethrone Walter.
Yes, I have to agree.
So then we got to see the Dusty Classic finalists interviewed by Kathy Kelly on the in the crowd, and Zach Gibson cut a hell of a promo. The guy is fucking gold on the microphone.
Yeah,
and he's a heel, so he's upset all the time. Then they give it to Riddle, who says, "Bro, why are you so upset? They just announced that whoever wins gets a shot at the NXT titles in Portland. You should be happy. I know the guy next to me is smiling from ear to ear." And they looked at Pete Dunne, and he just looked like Pete Dunne. And he said, "My bro from another Mo." And then Pete said,
he was like, "That's his happy face."
And then Pete said, "Let me just be blunt." And Riddle got ecstatic, and the crowd went wild. And Pete said that there was a Broserweight chance. And Pete said, "All your hopes and dreams come to a bitter end, bro." I thought this was a good way to remind the folks at home that this match is happening on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned this. I really liked a lot of the hyping of the weekly show taking place during the pay-per-view. That's not a thing that happens often anymore.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think another thing, I know some people were a little disappointed that the Dusty Classic finals were happening on NXT and not on TakeOver, but this makes perfect sense now that they announced that they were going to face off against the Undisputed Era for the tag team titles.
Right.
And yeah, that's going to be at Portland, and that's a much bigger deal than the Dusty Classic almost. And I wanted to say something else. Oh yeah, if you hate Zach Gibson, take your shoes off. That's one. Yeah. Pete Dunne, I don't know, man. I think he's really embracing the whole like pothead thing. So that's kind of cool.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious, and I like the chemistry between Riddle and Dunne. They're just, and I think it's pretty much open to see, but they are polar opposites.
I mentioned that it was the tag team I never knew that I needed. Yeah.
Yeah, to have someone who's so openly like charismatic and like laid back and go with the flow,
goofy.
and then have someone who's like completely serious about his crap. It just works.
By the way, Riddle in that promo, Riddle started off by saying why he's so serious. So he referenced the Dark Knight.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's cool though.
We then had the Cruiserweight title Fatal 4-Way. We got a new Cruiserweight title, which is like dark purple, no more orange, and in the middle it says NXT.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Nice looking belt.
It looks a lot like the Intercontinental Championship now.
Yeah, I think maybe they're trying to change the belt designs to look like in that same format, I guess.
Yeah. It was Angel Garza versus Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Travis Banks, the Kiwi Buzzsaw, and the Irish Ace Jordan Devlin. Garza went to take his pants off at the beginning, but got triple super kicked. Devlin Uranagi'd Banks onto Scott and moonsaults on both of them. Swerve with a rolling flatliner on Devlin. We got a lot of Travis Banks in this match.
Yeah.
There was a point where Scott had him up on his shoulders in an electric chair position, and Garza drop kicked him off, but the impact made Travis hit a poison rana on Isaiah Swerve Scott. That was pretty awesome. There was another point where Garza had Devlin in a power slam position and Banks in a power bomb position, and Scott came off the top with a double stomp to Banks, which was fantastic. I mean, there were so many spots. You want to cover any of them, Sid?
Oh yeah, I got a few. So Devlin, there was one cool spot where Devlin hit a DDT onto Swerve and then immediately a Spanish fly onto an incoming Garza. That looked really awesome.
He flipped. He flipped over Scott, was on Travis Banks' back, and flipped back into the ring. It was awesome.
Yeah. Then another one. Oh yeah. What's his face? Scott went for a house call, and Devlin broke that up with a drop kick. That looked pretty cool. I guess I'm being a smart now, but I like the Canadian Destroyer by to Devlin by Travis Banks. So there's that. But because apparently that's like the thing that Sparks like. I don't know. What else was there? Oh yeah, Slice of Heaven and a Kiwi Crusher to Devlin. That looked really cool.
Yeah, only for a 2 count, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it still looked awesome. That's all. What else? Really?
Throughout this match, I tweeted that it would be a good thing for the Cruiserweight title to go on to an NXT UK member,
right,
to get more eyes on the brand and more eyes on the NXT UK superstars. And lo and behold, at the end, Garza went for the wing clipper on Scott and hit it, but Devlin broke up the pin by headbutting Garza and hit the Devlin side on Scott for the win. So they also kind of foreshadowed Jordan Devlin winning when he was coming out. They were saying how Shawn Michaels believes in him and he's the one in NXT UK to watch. After the match, Jordan got on the mic and said, "Do you believe him now? Do you believe him now? You never bet against the Ace." John, what are your thoughts on the Irish Ace?
The Irish Ace is talented. He is. I think he was the right guy to walk away if it wasn't going to be kept by Garza here. I would have personally preferred to see Travis Banks pick up the win. I don't know. Something about Devlin has always rubbed me the wrong way, and I think it just has a lot to do with his attitude during the first NXT UK tournament.
Yeah, he was always presented as a heel, though, I guess.
But it was
because of that blockhead.
it was mostly the trash talking of his mentor Finn Balor that turned me off on him.
Well, that led to a match.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know all that. I know, but this is just
right.
You know what I mean.
Sid, what do you think about Angel Garza's reign?
I think it was too short, honestly. Again, this was an awesome match, and I loved it. All four guys are talented. That's an understatement. But Garza, it looked like he was really getting on with the fans and everything as the cruiserweight champion. They were doing a lot with him. I think they should have kept the title on him just a little bit longer. And then if Devlin was going to take it off of him, that's fine. But I thought that Garza had a lot more to offer as cruiserweight champion, and he could have really done a lot more with it.
I think two things. I think Lio Rush and Garza's runs were too short. But at the same time, if this leads to a Garza coming up to Raw to either tag with Humberto or just be a single star, I'm all for it. But if he stays in NXT and the Cruiserweight show and whatnot, I think this was the wrong call. So it all depends on where it goes from here.
We could see him head towards a North American title opportunity.
That'd be good.
Hopefully. Because they seem a lot more open to not relegating cruiserweights to only having a cruiserweight title now.
I just think he has so much charisma that, like you said last night when we were watching, they've been looking for another Eddie ever since Eddie passed.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's got that swag.
And Vince, this is what I said, Vince wants it to be either Andrade or Humberto, but I think organically, by crowd reaction, it's going to be Angel Garza.
Yeah, and I think that they're on to that. I think he's going up. The next match of the evening. Well, let's see here. What happened next? Yes. We got to see Robert Stone and Chelsea Green coming to ringside and sitting down, as well as the couple of Mia Yim and Keith Lee, who was holding his NXT North American Championship. Very nice.
Hell yeah.
The next match was a dream match. Mustache Mountain of NXT UK against the reformed DIY of NXT.
It was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Gargano and Bates start, and a lot of mat wrestling encounters. Bate and Gargano shake hands, and they tag out. Trent and Ciampa compare mustaches and beards. Then Ciampa flexes, and dude is absolutely shredded. Then Trent gets ready to also flex his body and says no, which was hilarious. Bate and Ciampa lock up for a bit and do neck bridges, and I was super scared for Tommaso. Ciampa seeing the bop coming, but banged Bate. DIY throw Mustache Mountain over the announce tables, then sit on the apron and clap and pat themselves on the back as an homage to their earlier days. Gargano turned an airplane spin into the Gargano escape. Bate and Seven bop and bang Gargano and Ciampa. A Birmingham hammer on Ciampa for 2. Bate goes for a corkscrew move off the top as Seven holds Ciampa down. And Ciampa pulls Seven onto himself and goes for the pin, but only gets 2. DIY meet in the middle on 7, and Ciampa gets the pin in an amazing tag match. They all hug and raise each other's arms.
So I am a little concerned for Tommaso Ciampa because after the match he was holding his neck quite a bit. So I just hope it's just like a little tweak and it just needs like a little physical therapy.
I noticed him holding his neck too.
Yeah, that has me concerned. That's one thing I'll say. But John, why don't you share first what you thought about the match, and then I'll go.
Tell you what, best moments for me, hearing the DIY theme song again.
Yeah.
the crowd reacting to the DIY theme song.
I love that
That's
shirt
awesome.
too, man. I want that
The
shirt.
shirt's good. But yeah, the crowd reacting to the song being played was fantastic. An awesome moment for sure. The Ciampa sitting on the apron and clapping himself on the back to then be joined by Gargano was hilarious and awesome. I loved how it seemed like Ciampa and Gargano did not miss a beat when they got in the ring together again. It was like they had never not tagged.
Right.
Mustache Mountain is one of the best tag teams on the planet. I'll say it.
Absolutely.
They have been, and they will be until they decide to quit tagging. But yeah, all in all, this is a match of the month and quite possibly match of the year candidate.
Agreed.
Yep. Good. Yeah, I loved it. First of all, I was looking at my notes, and Tim, when you were reading it, literally the first few notes were the exact same. So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Ciampa did hit I actually wrote that Ciampa hit a V trigger to bait, but it's just a knee. I can't call it the V trigger. I know. I don't care. It sounds better. Anyway,
it's a psycho trigger.
Morrow calls it a V trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morrow calls it a V trigger. I'm like, you slide dog.
I have many names for the high knees. When Riddle hits it, it's a bro trigger. When
it's a final flash.
When Buddy Murphy hits it, it's an Aussie trigger. Now when Ciampa hits it, it's a psycho trigger. That's what I'm going to call it.
The psycho trigger, that works. Psycho trigger. What else? I liked a lot of great spots. There was one where Ciampa hit a knee out of midair, I think onto onto Tyler Bate. As both of y'all know, I'm a huge I go ballistic for anti-air moves.
Yeah.
I love those. I liked how like in the beginning it just looked like they were just showing respect, and it's almost like they didn't even want to like hit each other, but DIY just kind of pulled the trigger and just went in and destroyed Mustache Mountain.
DIY started doing heel stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing a little bit more heelish stuff. I mean, I guess because like even if it's a face versus face match, you've got to have someone being a little bit heelish, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of here for a reformed DIY as a heel team.
The only drawback to a heel DIY or just DIY reforming is that we won't get to see Johnny Gargano during takeovers wear his Marvel-inspired gear. That's the only drawback I see.
Yeah.
First of all,
I mean, he still could, though.
First of all, the prophecy with the Undisputed Era is ending. The Broserweights are going to win the tag titles. Keith Lee already won the North American title. Daddy's taking Goldie home. And Johnny has Finn Balor to deal with, which we'll get into. We see Mercedes Martinez in the crowd, which was sweet. Then we see Dakota Kai frowning, and Tegan Nox comes out of nowhere and throws her through a barricade, and they fight until they're separated.
That was awesome.
It was one of the best looking pro wrestling fights I've ever seen. It was awesome. It was like it looked like a fight in the street that you see on World Star.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sid, what do you think about having Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox wrestle on a regular NXT show?
I honestly wish it was at Portland. I think it just could have been built. It could just be built up just a little bit more. Because I do like good built-up, slow-burning storylines, just so like they culminate into the ring and there's a bigger payoff. I do think I was talking to someone on Twitter and actually on Instagram. They were like, "Yeah, I'm so excited." I was like, and I said the same thing. And they're like, "Yeah, maybe this match will end in a DQ, and then that could work. And then at Portland, maybe they'll have like a no disqualification match or something like that." That would be fine,
Next
but
year,
I think honestly they should
trying
just
so
have
bad,
this
she
match
lost them.
at Portland, and then they can both move on, because I think Dakota Kai kind of still has Mia Yim to deal with, just because she did attack Mia and cost her place in the War Games match. So I think that I'm excited to finally see this match. I just think it deserved to be on a bigger stage.
I'm hoping that something happens on Wednesday to where it gets moved to Portland.
Yeah, my justification for having matches on like this on weekly shows is that nowhere in the rule book is it written that this is going to be their only fight.
Right, and also they're competing with AEW.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
I just think that it has a great story and an easy story.
It's going to continue.
Yeah. I guess it should be told over more than one match.
Especially with Dakota throwing out the line, "You're due for another injury," is one of the most perfect heel lines I've ever heard.
Yeah. By the way, I like her new theme as well.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome.
All right, Sid, why don't you take over for the last two matches?
All right. So the next match was Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm for the no longer NXT Women's Championship. It's just the NXT Championship. First of all, what do you guys think about that? Like, why changing it from NXT Women's to just NXT Championship?
I don't know that I really have an opinion on it. I mean, I do, but I don't want to be.
Sure, opinion, it's fine, dude.
I don't want to be overly negative, but I think it's kind of dumb.
It is.
To remove it, I think it would have made more sense to add the word men's to Adam Cole's title than remove the word women's from Rhea's.
Right.
I think we're probably going to get another redesigned title because the title still says women's champion. It still says it on the belt. And it still says it on the graphic.
They should have done that in the first place. But yeah, go ahead, Tim. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on this?
At first, I was okay with it, and I was I could tell the difference between Rhea Ripley and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
But then I was and it's okay when they announce. It's okay on the show, when they announce it and everything. But John said last night, when we talk about it on our show, we're going to have, or anyone talking about it is going to have to differentiate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like they always change stuff like this before they're fully ready to. Because, they never have the new belt right away. They never have the redesigned graphics right away. They never have the nameplates ready. Don't say you're changing the name until the new shit is ready.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. They did the same thing with the NXT Cruiserweight title.
They did the same thing with the UK Championship and never even mentioned it.
Yeah.
Walter has a new belt that has the NXT logo on it instead of the WWE logo, and they never mentioned it.
Huh. Fancy that. All right. Anyway, so let's kind of talk about. I don't have too many notes on this match, just because. Well, I'll tell you what I thought about it later. But so the match started. There was a lot of Rest Hold City and chain wrestling. By the way, just because I say Rest Hold City doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that there's a lot of rest holds. Okay. There's some clotheslines by Rhea. Storm put Rhea Ripley into an STF. Storm then hit a DDT. Knees and a drop kick to Storm. Then Ripley applied a standing clover leaf, which actually was pretty good. Storm then converted a riptide into a cover. Storm headbutted Rhea Ripley, and it looked like she was going to win the match when she went for the frog splash. Sorry, and Rhea rolled out of the way, hits the riptide, and wins the match and retains her title. So, thoughts on the match, boys?
I saw a lot of people saying that this was lackluster and the two don't have chemistry, and Toni Storm isn't what she was hyped up to be. And I think that there may be some validity to it, but at the same time, I thought this match was fine. Like,
That was okay,
it wasn't as good as the rest of the card, and maybe the two don't have great chemistry together, but I don't think that takes away from Toni Storm.
No.
Because I saw Toni Storm put on one hell of a match with Io Shirai on Wednesday.
Yeah. And I think Rhea's match with Belair in Portland is going to be better. Or I hope it's going to be better. Because Belair.
Oh, yeah, Belair was in the crowd.
Yeah, Belair was in the crowd for this one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't jump the barricade.
Yeah, so am I.
True.
Thought she would have for sure. But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I think this was kind of like the cool down match just before the big main event, which I guess we'll talk about in a second.
Event it was.
Huh?
What a main event it was.
Oh yeah. I took a shitload of notes for the main event. I'll try to keep it brief, but
Shit.
let's talk about. Y'all want to move on to the main event, or you have anything else to say about this match?
No, but I believe there's something that happened before the main event.
All right, why don't you tell us about that, Tim?
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano was in catering, and
that's right.
Finn Balor attacked viciously, and then none other than Tyler Bate lifts Finn Balor off the ground and takes him away. Security gets involved. Finn throws a security guard and tells Tyler Bate, "What are you doing? This is not your fight." And Tyler just stood there. And I really wanted Tyler to say, "It is now, mate." I want Tyler Bate versus Finn Balor, because Tyler Bate puts on the best fucking matches. I don't care what anybody says. In the WWE, Tyler Bate does not have a bad match. You can argue and say Gargano as well, and I will say good on you.
Yeah.
But Tyler Bate does not have a bad match. He could go in there with anybody. And if he goes in there with Finn Balor, maybe on just like a weekly NXT, that shit will get my stamp of approval that week. I mean, it would be a match of the year candidate.
I think he could just fly on to NXT UK for one more match like that, like he did for Jordan Devlin.
Well, speaking of what you're saying, I think Tyler Bate needs to move to NXT mainland. I think his time in NXT, if they're not going to put the belts on Mustache Mountain, then they need to put Tyler Bate in the regular NXT division. I think he's done with NXT UK.
So you're saying separate him from Trent Seven?
It seems like they're doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, if they're not going to put the titles on Mustache Mountain anytime soon, Tyler Bate is done with NXT UK. They need to evolve his storylines and such.
Yeah.
Because he's done. He was their first champion. He wrestled Walter. He wrestled Jordan Devlin in an amazing match this year. I mean, he's been in Mustache Mountain. He was in the Dusty Classic last year. It's time for Tyler Bate to move somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, unless they put the UK title or the NXT UK tag titles on Mustache Mountain.
I agree.
And then, yeah. All right, John, do you want to talk about this as well?
Talk about what? The Finn Balor attack?
The Finn Balor thing, yeah.
No?
No? Okay.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
It was a good moment.
Because Balor basically got a hero's welcome when he was fighting against Dragunov. And he was almost like the one getting cheered. And I kind of heard some boos for Dragunov. So
yeah, he was kind of default face in this match.
Yeah, and so they had to reestablish it. Like, oh, no, I'm still a dick. So you know, I'm gonna go attack Johnny Gargano.
Well,
yeah. Anyway, but I do like Finn Balor.
Well, that's all about the fans. NXT fans are different because they're hardcore fans, and they don't care whether you're heel or face. If you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
The boost for Dragunov is because not a lot of people watch NXT UK. So why should they not cheer Finn Balor and boo him? It's Dragunov's job throughout the match to show what he's made of, and he did.
He did, yeah. That's true. All right. So, shall we tackle this mammoth main event, boys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Here we go. So, it is time for our main event, the Undisputed Era, minus the North American title, take on Imperium. So, for Kyle O'Reilly, during the entrance, Kyle O'Reilly was being a little extra with his guitar solo, and I loved every minute of it. That was awesome. And I like both of their entrances really showed like the polar opposite attitudes of both factions, even though they're both heel factions. Like, you know, it just showed like that they're still very, very different. You know,
right.
O'Reilly and Eichner kind of started things off rather aggressively. Some good exchanges by both of them. Huge power slam by Eichner, tags with Barthel. Then Strong and Fish hit a double team on Wolf, and that kind of actually took him out of the match, which sucked. But later on Twitter, he did mention that he was okay, so that's a good thing.
Good.
Yeah, that kick by Bobby Fish, I think, knocked him out.
Yeah, and like I think he was touching his arm or something too. So, but he said he was fine. So, yeah. But yeah, then Walter and Cole took the stage, and for the longest time, Cole evaded Walter's chops. And then, we had Eichner being dominant against Roddy. That was a good one. Barthel and Cole had a really good sequence where Cole looked dominant. Era hit a double team on Marcel Barthel. I forgot what. Strong then did the whole Imperium folding his arms behind his back thing to mock them. Then let's see. I'm just skipping here. O'Reilly and Walter had a really good sequence. I would very much love to see a match between those two.
Yeah, O'Reilly kind of taunted him like this. I know you can't see, Sid, but
yeah.
And then Walter came in and chopped the fucking soul out of Kyle O'Reilly and did the same thing to him. Like, I'm a big monster.
I watched a translucent version of Kyle O'Reilly's body ascend to the heavens after that shot. Like, I watched his soul leave his body.
I thought another
it was sick.
Yeah, I thought another good part was Roderick Strong hitting an Olympic slam on Walter through the table.
Yeah, I was just about to get into that.
And then Marcel Barthel was in a leg hook by O'Reilly, and he pulled himself under the rope, and Eichner hit the double springboard moonsault onto O'Reilly, which was beautiful. There was a point where all the troops were gathered, and like you said, there's a dichotomy. Even though they're both heels, all of the Undisputed Era stood there and was like saying, "Come on!" But Walter, being the ring general, held his teammates by their shoulders and was saying, "Come on!" And then as soon as it started, he like released them, and I thought that was really like it was.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't pay attention, you wouldn't have noticed, but it was so cool.
Storytelling in an 8-man tag is hard to do, and they did.
Right.
Yeah. So then, at one point, Walter, because he took that spot on the announce table, he was down for a while, and then Walter kind of got back up and then basically just chopped the souls out of all of the Undisputed Era. Cole then hit a super kick and goes for a last shot, but eats another chop. Frog splash to Strong, but Cole hits a last shot to pin Walter, but Imperium breaks it up. Then you talked about the all 7 men in the ring brawler. That was cool. Walter gets, the Era hit a high low to Walter, but they aren't able to pin him. But finally, Fish did miss a moonsault to Walter, who then hit his huge shotgun dropkick and a powerbomb and won the match for Imperium.
Now, before you get into anything else, that pin is so awesome because he crossed his legs and lifted them up in the air to add more leverage onto Fish's upper body, which I thought was so smart.
Yep, that was good.
Speaking of smart, we didn't mention something in the DIY Mustache Mountain match.
What's up?
Ciampa is one of the smartest wrestlers.
Oh no, I did mention it.
You did mention it?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Where he pulled Trent Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this was probably a really chaotic match, but like you said, John, there was some good storytelling here. I think it is hard to do, but it was very awesome. But I do think that this is the beginning of the end for the Undisputed Era. Like we talked about earlier.
The prophecy is coming to a close.
What?
The prophecy is coming to a close.
It is. It's fun while it lasted, but yeah, it is coming to a close. And I do think Strong is going to have a feud with Adam Cole at some point because, first got to lose his title. That would be cool. I mean, just Strong turning face again. I'm okay with that. But I know John's favorite wrestler is Roderick Strong, so I'm sure you agree. I'm kidding, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just a great main event. I mean, and I think that's what you're supposed to do, right? Your main event is supposed to be your best match. At least I would think.
Great main event, great show.
Oh, great freaking show overall.
This show, aside from one match, made my favorite matches list.
Same here. Same here.
Worlds Collide gets an A+ from me.
A+.
Yep. 2 thumbs up. A+.
All right. Let's get into the Royal Rumble predictions.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yay.
First match, Sheamus versus Shorty G. And I'm going to go with John for this first.
Sheamus. He's going to kick his head off, and he's not even going to lift his leg that high.
Sid?
It's Sheamus.
I don't care, but I guess Sheamus.
I hope it's a good match, and Sheamus will probably win. United States Championship. Andrade, who finally got rid of that pesky Rey Mysterio, is going up against, they should just call this the Latin American Championship, against Humberto Carrillo. I don't think Humberto's winning. I think Andrade keeps it.
Yeah, Andrade keeps it.
But these guys have had good matches in the past. I kind of look forward to seeing this match.
Yeah, this should be a good match, though. So I think this is going to be the sleeper hit of the night.
Oh, sleeper hit.
Bold prediction, but yes.
Well, who's winning, Sid? Jeez.
Oh, Andrade.
Oh, okay.
Andrade.
Yeah. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Roman Reigns has the Usos on his side, and Corbin has Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Yeah, the King's Court.
The King's Court, as it is, as John just told me. I think since Roman Reigns lost at the last pay-per-view, he gets his comeuppance at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, well, his 50-50 booking is the only booking WWE does. So it's going to be Roman Reigns.
I will say this. If this is their way of getting me to cheer Roman Reigns, good job. Because I just want Roman to just win and just move on and do something else.
And use all the weapons against King Corbin.
It's funny. It's funny. A couple of years ago, I actually really liked Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
And then he shaved his head. And that's all I'll say.
Well, to be fair, he was balding pretty bad.
Yeah, the whole general manager storyline.
No.
Fucking turned
It's
me
not
on him.
because he shaved his head that I didn't like him. It's what happened, the events that transpired after he shaved his head.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. But he's a great heel now, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so much so
way
that
better now than he was
so much so that
this
he
time
shit
last
on,
year.
He was he shit on the one of the AEW matches. So that was interesting.
Yeah,
the fatal 4-way #1 contender tag match,
which led to the funniest tweet of all time.
Yeah,
that meme.
I mean,
it says not enough rest holds and
no. The funniest tweet of all time came from, I think it was Sean Ross, said that NXT would have gotten 700,001 viewers, but Corbin watched AEW.
No, I think it was Brian Alvarez.
Brian Alvarez. Yeah, it was Brian Alvarez.
Yeah. While he was watching AEW while he was buying dog food to pour on Roman Reigns next week.
The next match was we'll talk about is the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Lacey Evans. Lacey has recently became face. She beat Bayley clean on a recent episode of SmackDown to earn the title shot.
It's gonna be Lacey.
It's gonna be Lacey.
I'm gonna say Bayley.
I hope you're right.
I hope you're right too.
Yeah, I don't think Lacey's ready yet. So
the Raw Women's Championship is Becky Lynch, aka the Man, going up against Asuka. It would be really wonderful if Asuka won, but she probably won't.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be Becky. Even though, okay, it's funny. Again, another star, a little bit of fall from grace, in my opinion, just because Becky was the hottest thing on in 2018 after she quote unquote turned heel.
You mean 2019?
They kind of turned her more into a Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of a babyface. And then I don't know what happened. She just, I feel like she's definitely become a little bit more watered down for me. But yeah, that's
the Man thing has run its course for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah, Becky. I want to say Becky wins this.
Yep.
Yeah.
We get the Universal Championship on the line. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, versus Daniel Bryan in a strap match. I am looking forward to this match because I love Bray Wyatt and I love Daniel Bryan and I love violence.
Straps? You love straps?
Yeah.
No, I just love violence. No. Not one of my fetishes, no. We saw on SmackDown The Fiend taking out Daniel Bryan and puncturing his own hand to sign the contract in blood. I think The Fiend retains.
He better after all that. he really
I think Fiend should totally
he really stabbed himself into a corner here.
Yeah. I mean, I think so far, and I'm sure you guys agree with me, Fiend is like the best thing about main roster WWE at this point, and he still continues to.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know who should take the title off of Fiend though. It can't be.
I don't know, man.
It'll probably be Roman though, so that'll be fun.
I don't know.
I think the smart thing to do would be to wait until draft time next year and move Alistair over to SmackDown.
Yeah, that would be great. Too bad Vince doesn't like to listen to us.
Well, and Vince hates long-term booking too.
And that, yeah.
So
yeah, but it's funny how he helped how the Fiend is so over with backstage. That's awesome. I like that.
That's what I'm saying. And
yeah,
I was very impressed with how they made the Fiend participating in a contract signing actually work.
Yeah, I know. That was cool actually. I saw that segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, at the end, I think the Fiend does retain. I would at this point, I would transfer Daniel Bryan to Raw and let him have some matches over there, and maybe go for Brock Lesnar. I don't care because I don't want the Fiend to lose the title just yet.
Fiend ain't gonna lose the title.
Nope.
Anyway, Women's Royal Rumble match. Confirmed entrance. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Natalia, Sarah Logan, Mandy Rose, Carmella, and Dana Brooke. This will be, I assume, 30 people.
Yeah.
I would like to see Ember Moon do something, please.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think Charlotte's going to have the most eliminations by a woman, and I think Charlotte's going to win.
Charlotte's going to win. Charlotte is going to win, and I'm here for it. If Shayna is in the match, Shayna's going to win. If not, Charlotte's going to win.
Who?
If Shayna's not in the match, Charlotte's going to win.
I agree with my partner.
I'm going to say if Shayna is in the match, she's going to win. But I think Ronda's going to return, and she's going to win.
I would have. It's going to happen.
Are you crying?
Yeah.
No more Ronda. I don't want this bullshit anymore. Let Shayna.
I know.
Let Shayna get it, and then have Ronda come out and say, I was the first MMA wrestler. And then Shayna said, no, I was the first MMA wrestler. And have them fight each other. Fuck.
I think Io definitely would have been in the Rumble if she hadn't hurt her knee on NXT this past week. She's out for minimum of 4 months.
Damn.
I think if that wouldn't have happened, she would have definitely shown up tonight.
Yeah. I think any surprise entrance you think you would like to see at least. I mean, they may not have.
I think we're probably going to see Trish Stratus and Michelle McCool at least.
Yeah, lead all the usual suspects.
We're going to see
I would
Michelle
really
McCool.
like to see
Victoria.
Yes.
Victoria, dude. Come on.
I would really like to see Victoria, and I would like to see Victoria be this year's female Hall of Fame entrant.
Yeah. I say Michelle McCool because they've been putting up some videos, including her on the YouTube recently. And they put out this big, crazy, long post about her birthday. So I think we're going to see Michelle McCool in the Rumble tonight. We're definitely going to see Trish.
Yeah.
Because she comes around for these big events.
Trish said she was retired, though, after that Charlotte match.
Yeah, and Terry Funk said he was retired 17 times. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's get in.
I just hope we see some NXT women. That's what I want.
Oh, we're definitely going to see NXT women. Bianca, probably.
Tony.
Rhea. Probably going to see Kaylee Ray.
There wasn't too many NXT women last year, right? Or
not really.
Yeah.
We're probably going to see Kaylee Ray.
Influx of NXT women this year.
And Mia.
Yeah. I
might even see
Dakota go out on a limb because even though they didn't say much about it, I think she has been dropping some very subtle hints. I think I would like to see Paige return to the Rumble. It's a long shot, I know.
That would be cool.
But it could happen.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a safe match for an injured star to return in because they don't really have to do much.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So the main event, the men's Royal Rumble match. We know that Brock Lesnar is number 1. Roman Reigns is confirmed. King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Elias, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Otis, Tucker, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Kofi Kingston, Big E,
Big Earl,
The Miz, and John Morrison. I can't wait to see what John Morrison and Kofi Kingston do. I'd really like to see Drew McIntyre or Big E win this.
Drew McIntyre's going to win, baby.
I hope so.
Who's number 2?
I hope Keith Lee's number 2.
Or Cain Velasquez.
Yeah. One or the other.
Matt Riddle.
No. I hope Matt Riddle comes in later.
Yeah,
I hope he eliminates Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I want.
I'm seeing number 2 in the Rumble. It's either going to be a guy to go against Brock, like Keith Lee or King Westwood, or it's going to be a comedy opportunity to bring out like Kurt Hawkins or like Heath Slater, and they just get booty.
I heard Santino was backstage.
Oh, if it's Santino, we're gonna see a funeral.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see Keith Lee in there. I'd like to see Matt Riddle come in and eliminate Brock Lesnar. Yep. I would like to see Edge return because a few months ago he was in Pittsburgh for a checkup where WWE does their checkups. And
I don't want to get my hopes up, but
they said he's cleared. But who knows? It's all dirt sheet talk.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there. A lot of people out there talking about CM Punk. Don't believe it.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Nope.
He's signed to Fox, not WWE.
If it does, I'll be happy. But I don't think it's gonna.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I hope Drew McIntyre wins though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Drew. One other surprise entrance I would like to see, just because there's history, it's because I would like to see Goldberg. So I want to see Goldberg.
Goldberg coming out as number 2 would be interesting.
Listen. Goldberg, Riddle, and Brock facing off because Goldberg and Brock.
What a kneebar, bro.
No, then Riddle can just eliminate both.
Yeah.
Or I think. Do you think Taker comes this year or no?
No.
Nah.
Not in the Rumble.
You know,
maybe Monday
Taker,
after the Rumble.
This is an interesting scenario. If Taker does come, this is what I would want to see happen. I want to see the Fiend and Taker kind of in the Rumble, not an official entrant. Just Fiend just comes in and like takes out fucking Undertaker and then disappears, and that's your WrestleMania match. I'd be okay with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Personally, yeah, it's gonna. I want Drew or KO, but we all know it's gonna be.
Yeah. He's the odds-on favorite.
Yeah. Probably gonna be Roman.
If Roman wins, what champion does he choose?
Probably the Fiend.
I think he chooses Brock Lesnar.
He should choose Brock Lesnar, but it's gonna be Bray Wyatt. And he's going to beat Bray Wyatt. And
I think the Bray Wyatt Undertaker match is going to happen at Mania. This whether your scenario happens or not. I think since has Roman Reigns ever beat Brock Lesnar?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't mind seeing it again because
I
don't want the only title. Oh, yeah, and there's going to be a lot of 24/7 title shenanigans, I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know if they still do that a lot, other than R-Truth being funny on the microphone.
Yeah.
I know Mojo's the champion right now.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I know. Who cares? But yeah, final prediction.
I popped John. Anyway. Well, Sid, do you want to give out any information?
Oh, yeah. Tonight I will be follow me on Instagram at Sids500. I will be doing live reactions to the men's and women's Rumble on Instagram because YouTube gave me a copyright strike last time I did it, so I will be doing it there.
And I'll probably join them because I'm bored.
What?
I might join you because I'm bored.
Okay, yeah, come on down, both of you, I guess. Come on down. Yeah, but that's what I'm going to be doing during the Rumble. I did that during Wrestle Kingdom too. I think I reacted for the Jericho Tanahashi match. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, but yeah, I think if you come down, come on down, man. It's all good.
All right. So,
do you want to do that power rank the top 5 this week thing?
Someone in the chat wanted us to, let's see here. Lil Fettuccine 69 wanted us to power rank the top 5 wrestlers of the week.
Jeez.
I will go with Keith Lee, Hangman Adam Page,
Yep.
Kenny Omega,
Yep.
Those are the only ones that matter.
Number 1 is John Moxley.
John Moxley.
Right
Yeah.
Number 1 for this week is
and
John Moxley.
John Moxley and who's number 5? Andrade. Because he won an awesome ladder match.
Oh yeah. Sid, do you have a top 5?
Okay.
I'm in agreement.
Definitely number one, definitely John Moxley. 2, I would say Keith Lee. 3, I'm gonna say Finn Balor, the Prince, Finn Balor. I'm gonna keep calling him that because they put an X instead of a C. It's Prince, okay? It's not Prince. Then number 4, I guess Adam Page, and number 5, Kenny Omega. It pains me to put my favorite wrestler at number 5, but it's just how it is right now.
All right. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one, and peace and love to all of you.
Bye.